Hey guys, it's Comics G-Man here again. Here to talk about another comic series that I'm getting into now. We're going to be talking about the Superman 2023 run by Joshua Williamson. Like the reason why I started reading the Fantastic Four, I wanted to give this a shot after watching the Superman movie, which I did not like. I wanted to see what Superman has been up to in the comic book world, and I have to say what I'm seeing here is I am very happy what is happening here. So let me just quickly start with the review I wrote here at number 1, issue number 1. First thing I have to say about this issue is the art is beautiful. The colors, the line work really pop. Secondly, the writing is on par. Joshua Williamson knows his Superman characters, and I really feel like I'm jumping right into the world of Superman that I'm familiar with. I hear each distinct character's voice perfectly. So, Luthor throughout in the beginning, while Superman is doing his thing, he's talking to Superman through his super hearing, trying to convince him that he needs Luthor. But besides that, it starts off also while they're talking to each other through the hearing. Superman is having like a fight with Livewire, and I like this start. I like that they started off with him fighting Livewire, because I was watching the Superman animated TV series about a year ago. I watched like all of the episodes, and the 1990s animated one. It was before they started animating the Justice League, I think. Yeah, and it was like around the time where they were doing the Batman animated series. But anyway, I really liked that animated series. So when they started this first issue with him fighting Livewire, you know what it felt like? It felt like I just went from the animated series world into this world, and it feels like they're one and the same. So like, I didn't feel like I had to make a huge jump into a new world of Superman. Like, it felt like I'm just right back where I am, you know, like, I really loved that. I loved that. So it made I read these issues, like, I read them faster than this is not a dump on the Fantastic Four run I'm reading right now. I'm loving that too. But like, dude, these Superman comics, I read through them like fucking hell. I read them through so fast. They were so good, except 2 of them, which I'll tell you later in this video. But like, I really enjoyed reading this. But yeah, like right now, in this, Luthor's in prison. I'm not sure why he's in prison, because I didn't read the previous saga, so not really sure why he's in prison, but I don't think I have to know. I don't think it's that important. I know that Luthor's a villain. He did something bad, obviously. So there's all these things going on. They got Clark doing his thing at the Daily Planet. Perry White is later on in the issues, you find out he's like running for mayor, or yeah, no, he's running for mayor. He's not mayor yet. So Lois Lane right now is taking over the Daily Planet. And I know some of you are going to be like, oh no, is it like girl boss stuff? Oh, like if you look at one of the images when they first introduced Lois Lane, like they got her holding her hips and she's like fucking screaming at the entire staff, like fucking like, she's like, and this goes for all of you. If you think that just because I used to be one of you that I'll give you any leeway, you're in for a surprise. If anything, Perry was too easy. Like, okay, I mean, at first when I saw that image and I saw that line of dialogue, I'm like, oh no, are they going to make Lois Lane into a bitch in this one? But no, she's not. Like, she's just being tough, because then you see in the next panel, she's putting on a front in front of her staff. Because she even says here, like, after that, like, to herself, she says, why did I agree to this gig? So, like, she's just putting on a front, you know, and you can't really blame her then at that rate. But she interacts with Clark pretty nice and everything, and I guess at this point in the story, Lois and Clark are together, and she knows he's Superman. Again, like I said, I haven't read the previous one, so I don't know exactly what's going on. I know they have kids at this point, so that's cool. But I like that they're together, and there's, you know, I'm happy that I'm reading a comic now where they know it. Like, they just know he's Superman, he's with her, they got a family. Great, I'm just jumping right into the middle of it. I love it. They're talking to each other on the roof. They're kissing, and one of the things about this now that starts in this comic, which seems pretty interesting, Luthor goes so far to persuade Superman that he needs him, that he literally gives Superman his entire Lex Luthor Corporation, but he like renames it Supercorp for him. This allows Superman to have access to all his resources, Luthor's resources. Obviously, Superman is not going to trust the reasons and motives for this in the first place. Like, can you blame him, dude? It's Lex. But yeah, like this was a good. Oh yeah, and they got Mercy in this. So I mean, I know you guys are gonna fucking laugh at me, but I only know Mercy because I watched the Zack Snyder stuff. Like she's in that character. Isn't she in Batman vs Superman as his assistant? Yeah, I remember she was a pretty cool character. So it's cool to see her in this. It also adds a level of familiar. It makes this familiar for me. Familiarity. It adds a level of familiarity for me. I can't say it for the life of me. I do not know why. So her character makes it easy for me to get into too. So like this is, I really like what they started off with here. So look, let's go to issue number 2. What do they say about issue number 2? Issue number 2. In this issue, it ended off where the last issue just ended off where Superman gets attacked by Parasite, or his real name is Rudy, but he gets attacked by Parasite. If you don't know who Parasite is like just that's in his name. I mean, he'll touch Superman and he wants to suck up all his energy and shit. Like he just sucks up any form of energy. Like that's all he is. But I like the character, and I thought he was pretty cool in the animated series too. But anyway, issue number 2. In issue number 2, Parasite has multiplied into millions of parasites, not destroying Metropolis. I mean, like, taking out all the energy, eating everything, consuming all of the, The issue allows for some great panels and action. Yeah, there were some really cool moments in here. There's this one big splash page where, like, Superman, he, like, uses his laser vision to light up the city so he could see what's going on in the dark, because there's no lights anymore at night in the city. And it's like this really sick, like you see all the parasites like sucking up the signs on the building, and they're all over the city, and you see like a Superman's red light over in the distance like lighting up the dark city. It looks really cool. It's really cool. I love that. Anyway, the reason why Parasite is like becoming so crazily like unmanageable and like multiplying, it's not really his doing. It's from being experimented on by these new villains we're introduced to. I guess that we could add to the rogues gallery of Superman. Although if these guys have been in other comics, you guys could tell me, but I've never heard of these guys before, so I think they're new. Dr. Farm and Graft. 2 men who seem capable of experimenting on supervillains and turning them into something much worse. There's even some panels where you see they're operating on Bizarro. I think Bizarro, like his arm is off too, like they're cutting him up, they're cutting him into pieces. I don't know why. And it's like, but I like that because it's like they're making me wonder, like, what the hell do they have planned for Bizarro to do? But that doesn't come up for a while. If I haven't got up to like when that becomes a plot. But anyway, Graft and Dr. Farm's designs are odd, strange, but weirdly they fit the story. Graft is like a shirtless mix of Ozzy Osbourne if he was to wear like too much makeup like Marilyn Manson or something. And Dr. Farm is like that fucking villain from Mad Max 2014. The Mad Max movie with Tom Hardy. And like the villain has like this blonde hair and he's kind of fat looking. And he wears a mask and looks like Bane if he used enough Rogaine, kind of. But in this, Dr. Farm looks like that, except if he didn't have access to all the water and food that the Mad Max villain had access to. He's like emaciated looking. He looks like he hasn't spoken in years, but he's got like these like tired and deranged looking eyes. So anyway, Superman figures out how to use Livewire because he defeated Livewire in the other issue, the first issue, and put her in the jail, the Metropolis jail. But he had to use her in this again because he figures out how to use her powers to like pretty much be like a magnet for Parasite, like a magnet of energy for him. Because man, it gets crazy. Like not only does Parasite multiply like into little parasites, but like he's like multiplying at like the fucking cellular microscopic level, man. Like that's horrifying, dude. Like they had like some pretty cool panels showing him like in your bloodstream, like millions of little parasites like in your bloodstream. Like it's like picture Ant-Man, like Ant-Man going inside Iron Man's suit, you know? Like those scenes in the Civil War movies, the Marvel movies, except multiply those little Ant-Mans and Iron Man suits by like thousands, man. Can you imagine that? That's horrifying. I love that idea. That was a really cool idea. I loved what they were doing there. So anyway, I said the only thing that bored me a bit was this new Marilyn Moonlight character. Now, before you get like, what? Let me explain why I got bored with that character immediately. I wrote here, a couple of years ago, I started reading some New 52 comics. I forgot which one it was, but there was a part where one of the characters was visited by a ghost from the Old West, and they had to go back in time or something. That story trope, it bores the hell out of me every time. I can't believe DC is still doing this trope. And didn't the lame miniseries based off of the Gotham Knights game do this very same trope? Do you guys even remember that game, Gotham Knights? I think I was the only fucking guy playing that game at the time. I actually liked the game too. I mean, but I'm not saying it was a good game, but I did like playing it. I liked the ideas of it. I liked that you could... Well, anyway, I remember in the Gotham Knights miniseries spin-off, they kept going back in time to like the West, or like the old 1800s, and it bores me, man. It bores me. I'm not reading these to see that. Like, I want to see the city. I want to see I don't say modern like I like modernity and I like all the modern shit stuff of today. I mean like city stuff, crime stuff, you know, Superman stuff, that kind of thing. And the only things that are tolerable for me, like with ancient stuff, is like Viking settings, warrior settings, Spartan settings, like stuff with swords and shields. But for some, it's just me. The whole Wild West stuff just doesn't interest me. It kind of bores me, you know? It makes me think of some of those boring Western movies that used to bore me as a kid. It just doesn't do anything for me. So I say, I just bring up more. Like I say here, like DC, they get these weird story fetishes that never goes away. And I say here jokingly, I bring up how they bring the throwing babies around in the Flash movie and in the Superman movie. Like that's an example of like an annoying trope fetish they have now. And I finish off for this issue saying, but thankfully it was like only one panel of Marilyn Moonlight. So it's not enough for me to deduct any points from the perfect issue. I gave this issue a 10 and I gave number 1 a 10. Obviously the Marilyn Moonlight thing becomes more of a problem later on, but we'll go over that when it comes up. Issue number 3, I just give it a 9.5, and issue number 3 is good, but it's really just a slow transition to further progress the story now, because they defeat Parasite. Superman is still debating whether he should trust Lex Luthor. Not much action here, but it's just to get the story back on track and to go to the next point. Alright, so now we get on to Superman number 4. The funniest part of this comic is Lex Luthor flicking an almond into a prisoner's mouth and giving him like an allergic reaction to it. Why does Lex Luthor do this? I mean, and why do I even bring it up, or why is that even in the comic? Well, it's kind of funny because it's like the guy is talking shit about Superman, and he's like talking to his prison buddies like, Superman ain't got shit, he ain't dark, he ain't badass, he's not like the guy over in Gotham, Batman, now that's a fucking guy. And like Lex Luthor is kind of getting like pissed off about it, and he flicks the almond from far away into the mouth, and I thought it was kind of funny. the way they even drew it. Like I saw what he was doing, and it was like a nice little like build up, and it was a nice. It was funny. That's all I'm gonna say. And it kind of shows you like Lex Luthor is so petty. He's so petty, like, and he's not doing it because he's defending like Superman's honor or like his character. No, he doesn't give two shits about Superman. He's taking it as a personal insult, because if you're saying Superman is a lame ass, right? Well then, what does that say about Superman's enemies? So you're basically saying Superman's enemies are dumb too, right? So of course Lex is gonna be like a little baby and flick the almond into the guy's mouth. I thought that was hilarious. So that little character detail to me shows that Joshua Williamson, he knows his characters. He knows his Superman characters. I really appreciate the little details. So anyway, besides that, the story progresses more. Superman and Lex catch up with each other. And we learned that once Lex Luthor tried to be a good guy when he was young on the streets of Metropolis. I thought it was a little cornball. I mean, there's this part, right, where Lex Luthor, he like discovers this operation where Graft, and this is how he met the new villains of this series, Graft and Dr. Farm. He like discovers that the homeless people of Metropolis are disappearing because Graft and Dr. Farm are kidnapping them and using them for like experiments, you know. So when he finds them, Lex Luthor, the young Lex Luthor, he like takes off his hood and he's like, he literally says this line, which is really corny. He's like, that gives science a bad name. But look, that's not even written right. That's not, it's, oh, here we go. It's because the last panel, first he says, it's miscreants like you. And then the next panel, it's like he takes off his hood and he's got like this green, like, bland thing to be like a superhero trope. And he's got his like full orange ginger hair. And he's like in that superhero pose, like, I'm gonna fucking do something about this. And then he says, that gives science a bad name. Now, if you're truly smart, you'll surrender without the need for fisticuffs. Like, dude, what? Like, that's not a good line. Like, that made me like, that's really corny, because it's like, this young Lex Luthor, it has to. I mean, it at least looks like it's set in the early 80s or late 70s, at least. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at these panels where, like, they're showing, there's this one panel where he's young and he's wearing a suit and he looks kind of devilish with a satchel bag, and he just arrived from a bus, first time coming to Metropolis, the city of tomorrow, and he's like everything around him looks like late 70s, early 80s. The way the color is, the way the city kind of looks a little bit. So when you have him saying like, we surrender without the need for fisticuffs, oh boy, that little line kind of took me out a little bit, because it's like, nobody talks like that. First of all, nobody talks like that at all now, and secondly, nobody talked like that in the 70s or 80s. Okay, and it just made it so cornball. So and then he has the fight with them. He goes after Graft and Dr. Farm. And that's all they show you, though. They don't tell you more about that. They leave you with that. And Superman goes off to find Dr. Farm and Graft, and it turns out to be a trap. The supervillainous Banshee is waiting for him, but clearly Dr. Farm and Graft did an experiment on her and made her like more deadly for Superman. So yeah, what did I say here? Well, I also made the point, like, I feel like, Lex Luthor's probably telling the truth about being a good guy. Or maybe the author is doing like a kind of fourth wall thing here. Maybe he did the fisticuffs line on purpose, because he's making you say like, wait a minute, maybe there's something bullshit about this story. Maybe there's something bullshit about what Lex Luthor is telling Superman about being a good guy in the past. Like, maybe he's thinking like, wouldn't a cliche hero say something like that? And only like a supervillain with no knowledge of being a hero would like repeat a story as stupid as that. But it's probably not. I'm probably just overthinking that. It's just probably a bad line. That's probably all it was. Anyway, so let's go on to issue number. I also ended off that I said, oh yeah, and we learn at the end of this issue that Jimmy is also banging the Banshee. All right, so let's go on to issue number 5. Oh, by the way, the covers on these issues are really cool. I really like these covers. Anyway, issue number 5. Another solid read. Only deducting points for the boring Moonlight character, but again, only one page. Everything else around that, the social aspect of the characters, Lex getting stabbed to bloody hell at the end and almost dying. Superman doesn't save him because in his fight with Banshee, he temporarily lost his super hearing. So when Lex Luthor's getting stabbed, it's like a fucking piece of meat, right? And he's like saying, Superman, save me! Superman, save me! And obviously he doesn't fucking hear him, So he almost dies and he's in a hospital. So when Superman finds out like that he didn't save Luthor, even though it's not his fault, like, dude, it's not his fault. Like, he lost his hearing. Like, he's still, like, really hard on himself about it. Like, that's our Superman, man. That's him. You got him. You got him nailed. And I say here again, emphasis on the art. The art is phenomenal in this issue. Yeah, I mean, also throughout this, they kind of show you Jimmy and Banshee, or what is her name? She's got like a weird name. I don't even know what her. It's like I can't even say her name even when I'm reading it in my head. It's like I'm trying to find the page where he says her name. Well, anyway, Banshee's got a really weird name. Can't say it. You know what I mean? Not even in my head. But like, it starts off the comic showing you that they've been together. Jimmy has been living with Banshee in an apartment and all that stuff, and how they met. It gets to the point. Don't worry, it doesn't drag it out. Like it literally just does it in like one page. One page, it shows you that. Well, 2 pages, and then after the 2 pages of flashbacks, it just goes right to like when Banshee disappeared and he freaked out. Jimmy freaked out in the apartment looking for her. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I kind of like that they did something weird where Jimmy is getting it on with like a supervillain like that. It kind of is a Jimmy Olsen thing to do because, frankly, like, alright, this is the best example I could think of off the top of my head. Like, there was this really, really old, like, Superman comic that I read. It was like in the DC Showcase Collection volume. And there's literally one where Jimmy Olsen, like, for some reason Superman goes on vacation, right? And I mean, this is like really, I think it's like a 60s or 70s comic, so of course it's going to be goofy, right? But Jimmy, like, he becomes Superman for a couple of days or something. And he accidentally, like, releases a dinosaur from the ice, like this fat, like, female dinosaur from the ice. And, like, he's, like, the first thing that she sees when she wakes up from the ice. And she falls in love with him. So like the whole comic, like he's like just trying to get away from this fat monster from, like, loving him up and stuff. And I just thought it was really funny the way they did it. Like it was funny, it was goofy and stupid, yeah, but it was funny. But like, so when they put Jimmy in this banging Banshee, it wasn't really a hard stretch for me because, like, I still remember that comic where like a fucking fat dinosaur wanted to fuck Jimmy Olsen. So you're not asking too much there with Banshee. That was easy for me to get through. But yeah, like, I mean, the panel work in these issues are fantastic. I mean, just they're so well put together. The coloring looks great. The themes, it's so consistent. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, so issue number 6, I say here. Well, the art changed here, but yeah, the art changed in issue 6. I think I'm a little kind in this little review. I say in the review, it's still really good in its own way, but I do miss the use of colors previously and how things felt like they had a bit more depth to them. Nonetheless, this is good. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to take that back because looking, like not reading this now, right? Like when you're reading it 1 page at a time, like now just like flipping over the artwork of issue number 6, No, I don't like it at all. I think it's a step downward. I think it's a step downward. And oh, also, I didn't make a review for the annual. I didn't make a review for the annual. The annual was okay. That also had okay art, nothing to write home about. I don't even want to talk about the annual that much. It wasn't that great. I'm just trying to bring up more of issue 6. I want to just look at more of the art. Just give me a second here. I mean, even the cover art is good still, at least. But I don't know how else to explain it. Like, issue 6 art, it's like, it looks like a manga or something, or a manga, whatever. It looks like this. There's this one big splash page of Superman flying towards you, and he literally looks like JoJo Bizarre or something, or I don't know. He looks the way they drew his face here, like his eyebrows, his eyes, like they look like a Japanese manga. And I'm not saying I have my fair share of mangas that I like. You know what I mean? But as I grew older, I am more I'm more into the American comics. I'm more into them now as I got older, actually. I don't know why. I don't know why my taste changed. When I was a teenager, it was mangas. But now it's this. You know, it's been this for the past like 5 or 7 years, or so. I'd say I got more into the comic stuff. All right. So anyway, issue number 6. I say in issue number 6 right now, Lex is in the hospital recovering. Superman is learning more about his secrets and finds now he learns that Lex had like a secret meta-human trapped underground, chained up, and he's like I forgot what you even call these characters now. What do they call these characters where it's like they're super like Jean Grey characters or Akira characters where they got like they're like untouchable psychs or something. What do you call that crap? I don't even remember, but you know, I'm personally tired of it. Hold on, I'm just letting my dog out right now. Just give me a sec. There you go. Go out. Go ahead. But yeah, anyway, I'm personally, I get so bored of that stuff. Like the Jean Grey stuff, the psych stuff, where they could fucking nothing can touch them. They could fucking throw you around like nothing, and they're like fucking gods and shit. Honestly, it doesn't do anything for me. It fucking bores me at this point. I hope one day they fucking stop making these stories about the psychs. Anyway, so I say here, Superman felt like this was wrong, that Lex Luthor chained a man up like that without like a trial, and he's like, Lex shouldn't be the judge, jury, and executioner. So he's like, I'm gonna free this fucking guy. And you know, yeah, I mean, I could see Superman doing that. I could. And he probably figures whatever this guy is capable of, I could handle him, and I could subdue him, and maybe even reform him. Yeah, I could see Superman having that thought. I could. But it did, the way they did it a little bit, it kind of came off a little careless. You know, so anyway, obviously Sammy gets loose. He fucking beats the shit out of Superman. The chains that had him tied up, he threw against Superman, and it tied Superman up. And obviously Superman is going to get out of that, obviously. Skipping on to number 7. I got a little shorter here. You'll see why. I said, good fighting scenes against Sammy, but I found the Lex Luthor family reunion part to be more interesting and funny. And I also like the Brainiac reveal at the end. Feels like, but I say here at the end, feels like some steam is being lost throughout this. One thing I did miss in that review, that little thing, they finally brought in Perry in here, and you see what Perry has been up to. He's like currently running as the mayor of Metropolis. And look, like I said, Williamson knows his shit. Like, reading the bubbles, reading the dialogue of Perry, like I'm reading Perry, like that, he's got him down pat. Like I know it's Perry right away. Like, sounds like him, talks like him. It's fantastic. I love it. And also the other thing, Supergirl, Superboy shows up, and the whole like super gang, all 4 of them, they show up pretty much. and they help him fight Sammy. And they had some good action scenes. Yeah, I'm not going to say they didn't have good action scenes. You know, Supergirl looks great. Supergirl looks good. Superboy looks good. But you know, I'm still just not feeling it because the whole psych dynamic thing bores me. It just bores me. You know, like it's like God level boring. You know, and I know you could say, "Oh, you're being hypocrite, dude. You like Superman? Yeah, Superman is fucking boring." No, he's not, dude. Like, if you write Superman right, dude, like, he does have his limits. He does have his limits, and you know, there's a lot of things you could do with him if you're clever. And I know you're going to say you could say that about the psych characters, but I'm saying I'm specifically tired of, oh, the psych character that was like put in the dark for years and is like mewing to like fucking be psych and like go out there and like do all these. I don't know, man. I'm just bored of that character trope, you know? I just don't. I would rather take like the corny classic Superman villains and just maybe have a little different take on them once in a while. Like, you know, I mean, at least Dr. Farm and Graft are interesting new villains. They're not bad, you know? Like, so they're at least interesting. Sammy is not so interesting. But like I said, what I like about this issue is the family reunion with Lex Luthor. Like, his mother shows up. And like she even brings in his daughter. So like I said, I've been out of the loop. So like I didn't even know Lex Luthor had a daughter. So I thought that was kind of cool. She's like kind of a punkish looking girl right now. And funny enough, she's wearing a Black Canary shirt. I guess that's like a band or something in this timeline, like the Black Canaries. And she looks like a punk. And the weird thing about her too is she's got 3 dots on her forehead. So like, obviously something happened with Brainiac and I didn't read the previous comics. So for some reason, do they know that she's they obviously know she's connected to Brainiac, right? They got to know that. Or is it just something for you and me to know reading the comic? I don't understand that. But I like it. I'm not saying I don't like it. Like, I like this dynamic they got going on with the mother and daughter. Makes it a little interesting. Brainiac is looking pretty good here, and we got some. Well, like in the annual, they showed Lobo in there, and I think if I remember correctly, in the annual, Lobo was like talking. Lobo's tied up by Brainiac, and like Brainiac brings up his race of people, the Zarnians, if I'm saying it right, and like Lobo is like, "What are you talking about, Brainiac? I'm the last of my kind, Bastiches." You know, the way Lobo talks, you know. And it turns out, no, dude, like Brainiac has your entire civilization or something in one of his collections, like he usually does, you know? But he's got like the Zarnians trapped, and the issue ends where he makes a deal with the Zarnians. And but it's like, I think he's attacking. Brainiac wants to attack some other planet. It's not Earth. It's like a planet where they got one power or something. I don't know. That part kind of went over my head. But what I did like that he's like, I'm gonna unleash a planet of Lobos on another planet, bro. Like, fuck. I love that idea. Awesome. Alright, so issue number 8. Yeah, issue number 8, I just said here, it was good, but not gonna lie, I'm happy the Sammy fight is over already. You know, I'm saying the same thing about the psych stuff. I'm bored of it. But is there any more good stuff I could say about issue number 8? No, I'm looking through it right now. It's got some decent action. I'm still just not that impressed with the art, you know, as I was with the first, what was it, 5 issues? Yeah, the first 5 issues, the art was so good. Now this is where I lost steam a little bit. Issue number 9, I gave it a 1. I fucking hated it. Issue number 9, I hated it because it's not. Like, it started off good. It started off good because after the battle with Sammy, Superman is all fucked up and stuff, and he needs to be healed up. And Lois is, like, reading letters to him from kids that are, like the kids are, like, writing letters that they want Superman to get better. And, like, one story I liked where one kid was, like, I think the kid was saying how his brother almost got shot, but Superman saved him. And he hopes Superman gets better. And he wants to see him at least fly through his street one day. You know, like really touchy stuff. I like that. I like that little touch, you know. And Perry is like taking a hold on his run for mayor. So, you know, they're doing a lot of nice stuff for Superman here. I love that. I love that. So, no, I'm not giving it a 1 for that. But that's not the main part of the comic. You know, now this is where Marilyn Moonlight takes over. The Marilyn Moonlight takes over, and he goes back in time in the West, and he gets into like a little duel. I am not impressed. I just do not like this Western stuff. I think it's garbage. I don't like the West in this. It bores me. And I don't know. I'm sure most people like this, but I just, it doesn't. I had to force myself to read through this, and I didn't enjoy it at all. And it was the same feeling I had with issue number 10. But the only good thing about issue number 10 is that it was the end of the Western bullshit. So number 11, I think, is going to go back to basics. I didn't start reading number 11 yet. I'm going to start reading number 11 soon, but I am looking forward to it going back to the basic story route. But yeah, that Western stuff, I mean, I get people like it, fine, but for me, it doesn't do anything for me. It's a real slog. But that doesn't take away from me liking the whole series. Like, I'm still going to keep reading it, going to try to finish this run, and then I'll eventually get on to like the newest issues they're working on now and talk about those in the future. But if you liked it, let me know. If you didn't, let me know. Hope you had fun. Like and subscribe, I guess. Thanks for watching.